For most of human history, the sun has served as the ultimate physical anchor of worship, a colossal nuclear reaction dictating the planet's life cycle. This physical dominance often leads historians and lay readers to a specific conclusion, that references to the Vedic deity Savita are simply synonymous with Surya, the physical star. In many academic models, these terms are treated as interchangeable titles for a primitive solar personification. However, the original Vedic texts describe a clear division between the celestial body and the specific conscious force operating through it. Within this cosmology, Surya provides the localized transmitting medium, the visible expression of an invisible cosmic architecture. Conflating the two reduces a universal law to a localized object, obscuring the actual scope of the Vedic system. The definition of Savita begins with the Sanskrit root su, meaning to generate, inspire, or originate. This points to the concept of Prerak Shakti, the conscious, motivating energy that drives the universe, existing independently of matter. The texts describe this as the invisible engine underlying planetary physics, acting as the primary directive for orbital mechanics and gravity. While Surya provides passive radiation, Savita provides active, intelligent direction to the systems of the universe. The source material is explicit about this separation. The text states, Savita Surya se pritake. Savita is separate from the sun, and specifically rejects the common view that the two are identical. This Savitru Shakti is described as an omnipresent energy, permeating every atom and molecule within the structures of nature. This positions the physical sun as a prataksha madhyam, a direct, visible channel for a force that is otherwise hidden. The Vedic texts expand this influence from astrophysics directly into the internal mechanics of human biology. In this framework, Savita functions as the soul of the universe, the engine that simultaneously turns galaxies and initiates human thought. This connection is further detailed in the physiological attributes given to Savita, particularly the recurring term Hiranyapani, or golden-handed. Literal translations treat this as a physical description of a god with hands made of metal. However, in the Vedic context, Hiranya serves as a metaphor for pure, unblemished energy used to enforce cosmic order, or dharma. The commentary demystifies the term, explaining that these golden hands represent absolute discipline rather than a literal tool of control. The text notes this supreme energy is accessed through absolute dedication and self-surrender to those cosmic rules. The Vedas map these solar rays onto human neurobiology, describing interaction with specific nervous systems. This energy drives the Agyavahak motor pathways, prompting physical action. Simultaneously, it governs the Gyan-Vahak sensory pathways, bringing information back to the brain. The modern commentary confirms this biological mapping, specifically integrating the terms motor sensory nerves into the analysis of the original text. Human consciousness and neurobiology are presented not as isolated systems, but as direct extensions of the universe's central motivating energy. This energy is also described as governing the journey of the soul after the biological life cycle ends. The texts introduce the Astrit Mani, an indestructible spiritual state, granted by Savita upon the dissolution of the body. These mechanics are detailed in the Atharva Veda, specifically within the sections concerning the movement of the soul after death. The text describes Savita providing a sukshma vastra, a subtle cloth, and a habitable environment for the soul during its transition. As the physical biology dissolves, the conscious element is sustained by the same golden motivating force that initiated its life. These profound psychological and spiritual layers were obscured for centuries. Medieval commentators like Sayana moved toward a strictly literal and ritualistic reading of these mechanics. By focusing on a material interpretation, Savita was reduced to the physical sun, making the text appear to be a form of primitive nature worship. The recovery of the original psychological architecture required the work of modern analytical thinkers. When the Vedas are read as an advanced manual for consciousness rather than a mythological history, their actual purpose becomes clear. Maharishi Dayanand and Sri Aurobindo were instrumental in moving the analysis beyond these medieval ritualistic translations. Maharishi Dayanand applied a rigorous, non-mythological framework to the recovery of the original Vedic meanings. He defined Savita as the ultimate creator, or Ishwar, emphasizing a force that is omnipresent rather than localized. His definition of Savita as Surya Eva Sva Prakashman Ishwar, God self-illuminating like the sun, re-established the deity as the absolute source of cosmic energy. Sri Aurobindo focused specifically on the psychological dimensions hidden within these descriptions. He illuminated the Adhyatma Paksha, the spiritual aspect, that literalist scholars often overlooked. Aurobindo's work demonstrates that the Vedic deities are conscious forces operating within the human mind to elevate its frequency. Through this perspective, these forces are transformed from external objects of worship into internal operational tools to be mastered. The practical application of this recovered knowledge is found in the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri functions as a protocol designed to align the practitioner's intellect with the praric Shakti. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa, Tat Savitar Varanium, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. The target is explicitly Savitar, the conscious creator, not just physical solar light. The purpose is in the final line. The request is for the praric to stimulate the practitioner's their intellect. This creates a direct alignment between the macrocosmic engine of the universe and the microcosmic human mind. As these frequencies synchronize, the system moves from an isolated state into one of pure spiritual illumination. The Gayatri Mantra serves as a neuro-spiritual technology designed to harmonize human thought with the frequency of the universe's origin. This marks a journey from the physical star in our sky to the deepest structures of the mind. A rotating galaxy, a dividing cell, and a pulsing neural network are all driven by the same golden light. Confining Savita to the physical sun misidentifies the source of that energy. The star is a localized expression of the true Prarak Shakti. The force holding galaxies together is identical to the conscious force that illuminates human thought. Recognizing Savita allows for a seamless integration into that universal light. When the intellect reaches the state of D, the oldest continuous prayer in human history fulfills its purpose. It allows the universe to think through us.